Hello and welcome to Jenna Custom Toys channel, where the famous Bruce does weird stuff. Let's get started, shall we?
Hey Darren, you back there? Yo man, where you at? You home? Yoo-hoo! I guess he's not here. I'm gonna take his chair. Oh, so this is the junk room again, huh? I like to hijack the junk room when I mess with Junkman. Apparently he's not home, which is a good thing because I just ate all his pizza rolls in the fridge. Love me some pizza rolls. Speaking of Junkman, you know what we're gonna do today? I have 10 people that I interviewed about what they think about Junkman. And we're gonna go through them and see what they have to say about That Junkman. Why am I picking on That Junkman? Because it's fun, and he can take a joke. And first one, his name is Jethro. And you might have seen this if you were on his Facebook page, but I do want to start out with Jethro. So here's what Jethro thinks about That Junkman.
Hey, you know what I like to do? I like sometimes when I go home, I boot up my computer and I watch that there Junkman. He's a funny motherfucker, yeah, he is. I feel like he's like a brother of mine, collecting junk and all kinds of things. Anyway, go watch That Junkman on YouTube.
Yeah, good old Jethro. He's a character, isn't he? Next up, we have Jill. Jill has some stuff to say about her. And if you know what Jill means, Jill. Jill. Probably backwards in the camera, but you wankers will get it.
I like to watch That Junkman. He is a funny guy. He has a special box of Kleenex next to his bed just for me.
Did you get the Jill joke yet? Okay. Next up, we have Penny. Good old Penny. Penny has a nice little school story to tell you of growing up with Junkman.
That guy? Yeah, I know him. In grade school, he stole my pencil box and set fire to my cat. He used to steal my lunch money, then he would buy candy for the bad kids so they wouldn't stuff him in a locker for the day. I got even though when my family switched to food stamps.
Now, apparently, Junkman knows a little bit of royalty, too. This guy is named Prince George, and he is a prince of some country that doesn't exist in Fantasyland. So let's see what Prince George has to say about That Junkman.
I don't understand the big deal about That Junkman. He's an average southern white guy with a YouTube channel about toys and other frivolous things, but he gets all the girls. I'm rich and good-looking, but I cannot find a $20 hooker to rub my feet. But That Junkman is swimming in girls.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Who's next? Oh, one of my favorites. Dr. Mojo. Dr. Mojo is a famous inventor from another country that doesn't exist in Fantasyland. Apparently, Dr. Mojo and Junkman used to be friends, and let's see what he thinks about That Junkman.
Yes, I know. That Junkman. He stole one of my most important experiments. A half-man, half-beast creature named Russ. The last I heard of him, he was training the experiment to be a lean, mean sexual machine. His strength is in his mighty beard. May God have mercy on us all.
This next one was highly interesting. Her name is Patty, which happens to be my first wife's name. And it's kind of fitting after you see what she has to say and what she looks like. Here's Patty.
That Junkman broke into my house and ate all my leftover Chinese food. Then he stole my underwear. He makes me so moist I can't stand it. I want to have his babies. Oh, I wish he'd notice me.
Another interesting person I had a chance to converse with was Megan, and let's see what Megan has to say.
One time, That Junkman and I shared some mushrooms and antipsychotic medication at the same time. We wanted to see who would win the race. Junkman was fighting off a dozen tiny trolls. We aren't allowed back at the daycare center anymore after that night.
Pack a bag of mushrooms, take some antipsychotics, and see who wins the race. I think she'd be a fun person to hang out with. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Now another one of my favorites, Lieutenant Don. Not to be confused with Lieutenant Dan, because I ain't trying to be sued. He's got some interesting insight into Junkman's life and his experience with that Junkman.
It was a dark time back then for me and Junkman. We had no Mountain Dew or pizza rolls. Our batteries for the controllers were running out. We decided we had to become cannibals. I told Junkman if I die, he could eat me. He couldn't wait that long. That's why I'm in this wheelchair. Seems like Junkman has an interesting past. He has an interesting circle of friends or people that he's known over the years. So we have a historical figure coming up next. He actually was friends with Vlad the Impaler. And here's what Vlad the Impaler has to say about that Junkman.
I will tell you about the Junkman. The Junkman, for my birthday, he bought me a sun lamp. That's the kind of jerk he is. I was not happy. I don't tan very well, you'll see. So we went to his house and had an anal bleaching party. That was kind of fun, actually. But then I found out he has no butthole because he is an android. He is an android, I tell you.
Now, I don't know if you know this about Junkman or not, but he does actually have a life. He doesn't just spend time in his room making videos all the time like I do. Oh, I'm just as bad, aren't I? But, yeah, here's one of his prior girlfriends.
Yes, I was supposed to marry that Junkman. I left him at the altar. He always said he wanted to wait to have intercourse. When I found out he had 3 buttocks, I decided to run away. Can you imagine how bad the farts would be? I ran off with Bruce from Jenna Custom Toys instead.
So that was number 10, and like I said, 10 people that know Junkman and what they had to say about him. I hope you enjoyed it. There's more coming up. Junkman, you got to understand, Junkman and I, we are online friends. We kid around with each other all the time. And if you can't understand satire and humor, then I feel bad for you, because what's life without humor? I love being funny. All my good friends in real life know I have a rule. If I'm not messing with you, that means I either don't like you or I don't know you. And that's a rule I've been living with most of my life. I like to make fun of my friends. My friends make fun of me. We have a whole thing going on, not just Junkman, but people in real life too. My buddy Dustin, it's a wonder he still stays friends with me. We've been friends like 30 years. And we make fun of each other all the time. It's just what we do. And you know what? It's fun because it's stress relieving. But I'm going to close out the video now. And if you get a chance, check out That Junkman on YouTube if you're seeing this. You probably came here from that anyway, because he has a lot more subscribers than I do. I just felt like being weird tonight. I found this new AI software, and I literally spent hours just messing with it. And you know, if you've seen any of my replica videos, you give me AI, I'm gonna make a bunch of fart jokes and poop jokes. It's just what I do, because it's funny to me. But I got one last interview. Here's what somebody thinks about me.
I know Bruce from Jenna Custom Toys. He is amazing. He's so cute and sexy. I want to run away with him and spend the rest of my life in a cabin in the mountains. We could live off the land and make love all day and night. I would bring him beer, and he would cook the most amazing dinners for me.
And, yeah. Bye.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.